What is up, everybody? Welcome back to yet another episode of me and my boy Jesse. First and foremost, I would like to formally start this. I guess it's a podcast with a with
Something
an
like that.
apology to my man Jesse. I was mad late today. I'm basically an hour and a half late, guys, which there's no excuse for. And I wanna take that obviously again. I'm so sorry, Jesse, because that's like not usually who
Yeah.
I am and how I think of myself. But then I've been like thinking about this thing recently, right? And funny enough, this has been on my mind for the past few months, kind of like a moral thing, where I have a certain idea of who I am, as we all do, right? Like people like to consider themselves maybe punctual or let's say high value or having a certain morale or ethic or reliable, loyal, all of those things. And then recently I've as you guys know, every now and then I like to hit the old green goddess and I like to sit back and think. And I was thinking about how a lot of my maybe a lot is too much, but some of my actions in daily life have been very opposed to the idea I have of myself. And so I've been toying with this idea. Just we lost your camera. Can't see you right now. You're still here?
Yeah,
Ah,
here.
okay. Yeah,
Here.
you lost your video. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
So at some point, right, you have to look at your actions and look at the sample size that you have of oneself. And I kind of came to the conclusion that, and especially in terms of punctuality, and I'm gonna go ahead and pull the Mexico card and say that Mexico has influenced me. But the fact of the matter is, I'm just not that punctual anymore the way I used to be, let's say 2 or 3 years ago. And I actually genuinely do mean I'm so sorry if this is inappropriate, but if you're living in a society where it's like the word ahorita, which is like
Mhm.
it's this modification of ahora, which means ahora means now in Spanish. Ahorita in Mexico basically can mean anything from in 1 minute to in 1 hour to never, right? So Mexico is an ahorita culture. And so what that means is they're not that high on punctuality, and it's not that important either, right? But let me stop making excuses. Obviously, that's not like that's one thing, but I've clearly been influenced by that. But my point is I had to step back and realize like, bro, I'm not that punctual guy anymore that I like to think. And not even with that, but in other things as well. Like as I age, I always thought I was very empathetic. I had a lot of empathy. But recently I'm finding out that my empathy is quite selective sometimes. Like that I've
Mm.
gotten really good at not having empathy. So I just, I guess what I'm trying to say is I've just been kind of struggling and trying to accept. And then there's the question like, should I accept this or should I fight back? Right? Should I like, but then if I'm trying to like be the way I was, I'm going against my natural progression, right? I
Yeah.
don't know. Jump in,
Yeah.
Jesse.
No. I love it. I got so many things. I mean, first, like I do appreciate one, the apology. Two, I do know you're a punctual person, and you know that I am quite a punctual person. So I have a lot of thoughts on this. I think what did I say before we started recording? We just hopped on. Like my first words were "al tráfico," right? In Mexico City, there's just this awesome phrase that everybody uses, right? It translates pretty quickly, like the traffic. But Mexico City is a 28 million person city, and there's traffic every fucking second of every day. And so the idea that you haven't planned your day around the fact that you have to get across the town, or even just cross a couple of barrios, knowing that there'll be traffic and you're late, it's this hysterical, always used excuse. So that's what I said to Lawrence when he just hopped on. But like the truth of the matter is, part of this is, I mean, there's a couple questions I have for you. Like, part of this is the natural way that we change in certain environments. And like there are certain things that we hold on to that you hold dear to yourself, but then also some things where the amount of energy that we give to something of importance to us, other perspectives can make you actually realize that maybe you only thought it was important because the environment you were in before, right? And so, like for me, I'm an extremely punctual person. Like part of it is, being a baseball player my whole life. Every coach has sort of some version of the same thing is like on time is game time. And like
Mm.
game time, if you show up at game time, you're late. So like you show up early. You know, I think it's a personality thing. Like I I'm right now like I'm dating a person who is not on time, but she doesn't prioritize being on time, right? Uh and so for me it takes a lot of both like energy to know that about her, but then also I preemptively plan, the little bit of the okay, love, like we have a 6:30 flight, and so that means we need to be up at X time, and like my alarm's going off at this time because I know that you're going to be slow getting up, and I'm going to make sure that I have everything done before we have to go. And so I say that to be like, I know myself, I'm a person that's early. I think this type of thing is I think it's really hard for someone who's not a on time person to become an on time person. I think it's really much easier for a person who is has been an on time person to relax that if you're in an environment that that's more kosher. Or I guess for to use kosher, like kosher is a Jewish, sort of a Yiddish word that essentially means like it means it's okay, right? Like it's all right. Like in the Mexican culture, being late is essentially the culture. And so I'm curious for you, like do you feel okay being a person who cares less about that stuff? Like does it feel like uh, a natural progression for you being like more tranquilo, or like how do you view this change?
I don't like it. It's just that I found the only way for me to stop raging about people being late, and it used to upset me to the point where it would poison and sabotage my entire meetings. Um, I remember one Bumble date that I had. This is a while ago. This is like maybe 2 years ago, and she was 40 minutes late, and I I couldn't get past it. Like I literally had a red face of anger. Like I didn't see myself that I could feel the blood in my head, and the whole time I was practicing restraint to not bring it up, you know, because I liked her, but then the third like maybe 30 minutes into the conversation when we disagreed on something, I channeled all of that pent up anger into into the silly discussion. Like we might have been talking literally about chilaquiles, and I just went like crazy hard for nothing. And I remember being done with my rant and her just looking at me like being scared, basically, like this guy's a fucking psycho, right? Um, Funny enough, she said in the end she said, "You know who you remind me of?" And she said, "You remind me of Thanos. Thanos. How do you say that?"
Thanos, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, all right, thank you.
I
Uh,
mean, he's big and jacked, so that's a compliment,
Hey,
buddy.
I'll take it. But so I remember that. I remember walking out of there and thinking, I have to find a way to stop being so upset about people being late because it's
Yeah,
they're not gonna change. I moved to their country, like, bro,
correct, correct.
pipe down and that and adjust. And so
Mm-hmm.
I found the way to do that for me was to also stop caring about it and to start showing up late myself. And that way I was never disappointed. Like only 10 minutes to be clear, like
Hmm.
10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
And so, but then I'm very much as you know, I'm binary in the sense that I only have two gears. I'm on or off. So
Yep,
I'm
yep,
punctual or
yep.
I'm not. I care or I don't. I'm kind or I'm not. I'm empathetic or I'm
Mm-hmm.
not. Like it's hard for me to be balanced in that way. So I don't like it. At the same time, it does allow me to live in Mexico with less stress and less anger and less hate. Like it
Sure.
like 'cause I used to think that's so personal. I used to think that's so personal, people being late. I mean, and so yeah, it's a conundrum. What do I do? Do I continue?
Here, here's the one thing though that I would be curious in how you think though, because like I've also thought about that. If I know I'm going to meet up with a person that's always late, do I just show up late? And the truth of the matter is, I bet you're in the same boat, but I'm curious. If I were to show up late, I've actually just wasted more time because I know when the right time is. My mind has already programmed my day around leaving and preparing and doing the shit I need to get ready for whatever this thing is at the times that I know I need to do to get on time. And then I'm end up if I'm choosing to show up later, I'm just sort of fumbling around for the 15-20 minutes like I've already chosen because I used to mess around with this too, like this, "Oh, I'll just be a little bit late, it's no big deal." I feel awful, like I feel like shitty in my gut when I'm walking somewhere and I'm late, even if I know the other
Yeah,
person isn't there yet. It just feels
the
wrong. And so
anxiety.
yeah, and it's just like there's nothing inherently wrong, but it just feels disrespectful, right? Like, and weirdly, I used to get really angry, thinking, taking it from a selfish perspective of like somebody is not valuing my time, and like there is that argument for sure, and a lot of people will die on that hill, and I think it's a valid argument. I've tried to switch more of the I value my time, I value my feelings, it makes me feel better to show up on time. And so I'm going to show up on time and like keep listening to this podcast, or I'm going to show up on time and people watch, or I'm going to show up on time and like do something else, talk, call a friend, whatever. And so I still feel good because the change for me of trying to show up late just didn't work. And so I'd be, I don't want to put words in your future mouth, but I could see you getting back to that.
Yeah, yeah. I guess I think that's also interesting because you already talked about, so for those who are not aware, Jesse also moved to Mexico City at some point.
Mm.
I think the total time that you were here was about, I want to say 8 months. Maybe I'm wrong.
Yeah, so I actually got there 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I moved out of New York 2 years ago last week, so mid-January 24. I was there for yeah, about 8-9 months in total
Right.
in two different
And
stints.
this is
Yeah.
something I remember you and me used to talk about this, and I think this might be interesting to people looking to maybe migrate or move or become an expat or start over somewhere else. And I have a pretty strong opinion on this in the sense that, because obviously, as you guys know, I'm living in a co-living. I'm not a baller. This is not my own crib. I share this very much so. I did tell them all to fuck off so I can do my podcast. So there's that. Um, I meet
Casa
I
de
I
Lorenz.
meet a lot of people that come here, they try to start a new life, and then inevitably after 2, 3 months, because there's a scientific curve for that. I'm forgetting the name, but it's something about your eyes are where in the first 2 weeks is like pure adrenaline bliss,
Mm.
um, pink lenses, pink colored lenses, and everything is better and greater, and this is amazing. And then there's the inevitable crash. I miss home. This sucks. What the fuck am I doing here? And then you level out,
Yeah.
right? And so during that crash, like people talk about it, and they're like, man, I've been here for 2 months or like 3 months. Like I'm not, like I'm still struggling with this. And I always tell people, like, honestly, and I know this is not what they're gonna want to hear. It takes a motherfucking year. It takes a year
Yeah.
to being in the same spot. And that means a year like that. That's not that I'm not talking about being in Mexico City, boom, Tulum 2 weeks. Going back to Mexico City, boom, Chiapas. Going back to like no no no. I mean
Yeah.
a year of living in Mexico City and okay, maybe having 2 little vacations, but like that's what I found. Like I always tell
Yeah, you're a
right,
resident. Yeah.
yeah, like that's when things started clicking for me. It took a long time. And then just like I feel, and then I guess maybe it also has to do with age. There's a correlation between my age and it being harder for me to change and redesign some things. I remember my brother, he always said like behavioral patterns are like the brain and the mind is like fresh snow on a mountain. And the way you think and the way you do things is like a skier going on this fresh slope, right? And then over the years, if you continue doing these things, it's basically the skier doing the exact same thing every single time. And so the marks in the snow get deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper.
Mm.
And the deeper they get, obviously, the harder it is. to get out of get your ass up out of there and do find some fresh snow and redesign the way, you
Yeah.
know. And so that like even if I think about the friends that I had in the first year, like I didn't have a Jesse in my first year. I didn't have anyone like that I connected with. Like I all my friends in my first year in Mexico were out of pure necessity and survival. I didn't even like them that much. Like it sucks to say, you know, like they were not bad people, but I mean some of them were. But like it was just like they're all like beggars can't be choosers. I guess we're hanging out and watching fucking
Yep.
Mexican boxing. Go Canelo. Like I could care less, right? Like that. I used to be on that. So I mean, this is like a
Yep.
very long-winded way to say like I don't necessarily like who either coming, but at some point you have to make decisions in terms of like I guess I'm 3 years in now. Like I guess it's better to lean into that Mexican culture and identity. Uh, you know, but then again, at the end of the day, I'm a very much a Belgian boy from the field, so it's a tough one.
Yeah, I mean, it is a tough one. So I agree with you. I genuinely think I didn't give the city enough time to build like a cohesive foundation, but I did give it enough time to know that it's not my city,
Hmm.
right? Like it's, I mean, like training for the marathon. Actually, I ran in a lot of. I've been to more parts of the city than you have, right? Because I was running in lots of different barrios, and you know,
So Jesse, guys,
I said
Jesse
this.
ran the Mexico City Marathon, which is at an elevate.
Don't do it.
What do you mean don't do it?
Don't do it.
Well,
Don't
I
do
can't tell him.
it.
Come on.
No, I was telling you, don't do that marathon. Don't do that
Oh,
marathon.
I thought you were trying to be all humble again.
No, no, no,
No,
no.
so he actually ran the Mexico City Marathon, which is both considered to be one of the most fun marathons because of the vibe
Yeah, it
and
was.
Mexicans
Yeah, it was
they make it a
blast. The crowd
party,
was
but
amazing.
it's also probably the literal hardest in the world due to the altitude, which is remind me.
So for meters, it's 2,500 meters, but it's like 7,200 feet.
Right.
So it's over a mile.
And you did
It's
it and
definitely not one of the hardest in the world,
you did it
but yeah,
under 6 hours.
by a lot. I did it in 4:01.
Oh man, oh man, that was, I see. I
Yeah,
knew that. I just threw the alley oop for you to dunk it.
you're good. No, I appreciate that. No, I guess to not get too like deviate away. I mean, as a New Yorker, right? Like as someone who's lived in Manhattan for, I lived there for a decade. Part of the thing that I struggled with moving to Mexico City was that it has this vibrancy, but doesn't have the intensity of New York. And so, like for me, I associate big cities with like that intensity, like that hustle. Mexico City is a creative place, but like it's chaotic and it's pretty messy. And so for me, that didn't like I like structure, even if it's more of like calm structure, and I'm finding more of that for myself. That most cities, that chaos of big cities, don't really do it for me anymore. Um, but yeah, the structure. I mean, that's why I enjoyed my time in Ghent. You know that. That was that's a small, very small city, but like that's a very calm.
Beautiful.
That's a structure. That's a well. It's beautiful, but also like well organized place, right? It's a very livable place. Mexico City is very livable except for the fact that like everything there is trying to kill you, from like
Mm,
the pollution in the air
mm.
to the bacteria in the food, and like the streets. I mean, I think we've talked about this, like being there as a American. It was this the sidewalk and like walking etiquette was one of like the weirdest transitions for me to learn, because in the States, the pedestrian has the right of way with everything. And so you come to a stop sign and a car stops and you walk across the street. And if you're a runner, it goes sort of runner, biker, car as a priority. And in Mexico, it's the exact opposite, right? Like the car has the priority always, then the biker, and then the human. And actually, so for the first like 5 months or so, when I was running on these streets, like I was really frustrated, like getting angry at it. As like, how do you not understand? I'm here. How are you not respecting that? Like, I'm
Oh,
I'm a human. I'm vulnerable. But, and this is where like the other part of it comes in, and why I will continue to come back to Mexico City, and why I love it. I do love it as a place to go, is when you start to understand the culture. its craziness makes sense. Or like in this case, it's actually not crazy at all. Yeah, the metal car, the metal sort of thing, that's 2 tons, that's moving at 50 kilometers an hour should have priority over like the flesh and bone person running in its way, And like the biker, which is actually probably the most dangerous situation of anybody, should also have priority over you. And so like there's some weird things when you actually get to these places that start to actually make more sense for them and for the place. But then there's other parts about it, just like where I agree. You know, you can know a place and you can get a feeling for it if you're there. The 1 month or 2 months doesn't work. Like you got to get into a place where you have a rhythm. You know where you're working out. You know where you're getting your groceries. Like you know where you're doing your work. You know the city or you know your area. Then it takes a hell of a lot longer to make friends and like actually to find your place in that community. And yeah, I never got to that point. I guess I have a little bit of regret, but I don't know, man. I also have four other people besides you that I met in those 8 months that
Yeah,
I like have an ongoing relationship with.
yeah,
And like when I'm there next month, I'll see all of you guys. So, there are pros to cons to the longevity too. I mean, I think for someone like you though, like that, and for others, that stability of place is really important,
yeah.
right? Like having that connective tissue of
So I was
friends
I was gonna say,
is the most
yeah,
important part.
like and like it's not an achievement of mine. Like me being here in the same place for that long, that's not something that like that's literally me being in my comfort zone. I don't like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I'm not a backpacker. I don't like backpacking. I tried true backpacking one time in Colombia. 5 weeks into that shit, I burnt the fuck out. I was tired as fuck of that. I was like, yo, this shit sucks. I have no structure. Like, I'm always having to find new gyms, right?
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking cook, really. Like, because I'm the type of person.
I don't know, man. That steak last night looked
No,
pretty
no, no,
good.
no. I'm saying like I know how to cook like at a basic level. I'm a pretty decent cook. Like I can make the basic stuff and it's fine. I'm saying like I didn't have like
Hmm.
access to like a kitchen, or maybe I did, but like my biggest nightmare, Jesse, is a new supermarket. And
Mm,
I'm not trying to be and
yeah.
I'm not trying to be funny. I get like
No, no,
I'm not
I
I'm
know
not
you're
gonna
not. I know
I'm
you're
not
not.
gonna call it a panic attack. That's not what it is. But when I walk into a new supermarket, I get so anxious. I get so overwhelmed because I'm a control freak. I need to know all my stuff. Where is it at? Like in the kitchen as well. Like I'm like I need to know the knife is there. Like so a new supermarket freaks me the fuck out. Like I'll literally will I'll get stuck in a loop. I'll be running around and like indecisive, and then I'll start like putting things in there, and I look at my cart and like this doesn't make any sense, like, and then I'll get it all out again, and I'm like, I need to get out of here, like, so backpacking is that every day, basically, right? So my point is,
So interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah,
I,
yeah.
I don't enjoy that,
No,
like,
I get that. I no, I
yeah,
get that.
so I did 3 months of backpacking, and after 5 weeks, I basically stayed at the same Airbnb for like just 2 weeks, and I was just going to the gym and like and going to the same place for coffee, and I was like, oh, this feels better. Okay, I'm guessing I'm gonna take
Okay.
a jump, and then I jumped to somewhere else. Like I was in Cartagena for like 3 weeks. Then I jumped to Santa Marta. Then I jumped to Pereira. Like, and then I was there for a month. Like, just like, yeah, I don't wanna. So me staying in Mexico City. It's funny, like people always dub me as adventurous and all these things, but I'm not. Like we talked about this in the last episode. It took me a year last time to make the jump. And so once I'm in a place, but I am good, and I think you are too, because I like what you said. It was long enough for you to know it wasn't your place. I like that a lot. And I had that too, but in the sense of like I knew it was my place. Because I
Yeah,
just have
yeah,
like
yeah.
a certain the weather is not even that important to me. I know it's blasphemous because Mexico City, in my opinion, probably does have the best weather because it's always like a nice 25, 26 degrees, like perfect. It never gets too cold, but it does get cool, which I need. Does it get too hot? Sometimes it does, but not usually doesn't.
Not
I even
really.
like,
Not really.
exactly. I even like the rain. But so I like this.
Oh, the rain's my favorite season.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Last
Yeah.
last year was crazy. I like the fact that I'm exotic here. I like the fact that I'm different here. I've always enjoyed.
You're exotic everywhere.
Well, I mean, you've been to my hometown. You've been to.
Yeah.
Did I tell?
Yeah.
I'll tell you guys a little funny story. So I did an exchange student program in Sweden when I was 21. This is 2010, I want to say. I'm not. This is gonna sound like I'm exaggerating the story. So first thing, obviously, like I get off the plane and I'm like, fuck, like all these dudes look like me, right? Like I would routinely get into fights with people at the bar because Swedish men, once they got drunk, would come and confront me and be like, stop talking English, you dick. Like, why are you pretending that you're a foreigner? And I'm like, I'm Belgian. Like I don't like, and then they would like start yelling in my face in Swedish, spit on me, like doing the angry yelling stuff. I remember though, like not spitting like, but like doing the aggressive, like I'm blocking your face thing. And I'm like, bro, like I don't know what you're saying. Like here's the idea. I don't. The point is, they were convinced. They were convinced I was Swedish. They were like, there's no fucking way you're not Swedish, motherfucker. Fuck you. And it didn't happen one time. It happened like 5 times. Like, right? So
Yeah.
that's one. And then they have a basketball team. I used to stay in Sundsvall, the Sundsvall Dragons. I kid you not, there was and the biggest regret of my life, I'm being hyperbolic, is I didn't take a picture of that. I didn't take a picture of this motherfucker. I didn't take a picture of us together because I met him. There was a dude on the team that was me.
Your
Bro,
doppelganger.
he was
Yeah.
but that exists, and I met him. I saw
No, it
him.
totally does.
And I'm not saying he was like, oh, that kind of looks like her. Like he had the same hair, the same face. He was taller though. He was taller, but basketball player, right? Same fucking face. Like, and I was just like, this is so weird. And I remember we only had two clubs in that place. And one night I ran into him in the club, and so I saw him. And I was like, okay, this is gonna be the ultimate test. Like, I'm not gonna say shit because then I'm already like putting it into his head. So I just went over to him to like, and I just kind of like, and I just like stood in front of him, not like too close until he noticed me, and he just looks at me and he goes, and he starts laughing, because yeah, duh. I'm like, bro,
Yeah.
and I don't even feel like we had a real conversation. It was just like, bro, like,
No, no, yeah.
the
You
fuck,
just know.
like, the
Yeah.
fuck is this, right? And that was it. And somehow, as someone who has documented every single breakfast of the last 9 years of his life, somehow
Uh,
my dumbass, there has to have been but guys, this is pre-smartphone. It's pre-smartphone. We didn't have, like, we just had the flip phone, like, couldn't even take pictures. So I did a picture. Sometimes I still think about tracking this motherfucker down because I can find him because I know what time he played at that team in what city because I'm sure I can find him. But anyway, um, where was I taking this? What was I was
no idea.
yeah,
No
I got
idea.
so lost. Wait, we were talking about sup-
I mean,
backpacker and looking like people. Um,
you essentially
no,
you were talking
I
about
got
like why you don't like going to grocery stores, or
right.
like why being grounded in a place, why that's important to you.
No, you
Yeah.
said you're exotic everywhere.
Yeah, I did.
I'm
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm sorry, and that's when I went off of this crazy tangent. But like, so I'm not exotic in Sweden. In Sweden, like in Belgium, I'm more exotic in Belgium than I am
Brother,
in Sweden.
being exotic is not always about looks. I promise you that. You're
Ah.
exotic inside and out everywhere you go. There you go.
What are the ones that you get? Like Greece, right? Like Greek?
Yeah, I mean, I mean, you know that like, when I put the get a little tan and like I put the hair down, like
We need some
we can
music.
blend
Add some
in.
music post
We
production.
can we can I blend in a little bit as like, I started in Mexico. I started introducing myself to Jesus because at restaurants I'd get better tables, or my Spanish is good enough. I think I told you this. Like, my Spanish is good enough now where, if I say that my name is Jesus, somebody just thinks I have shitty gringo parents that like never taught me Spanish and that I've come to the home country to learn. Um, but no, I get most of the time I get Italian and Greek, and I have zero of that in my blood. Zero of that. We're all like German, Eastern European, a little bit Hungarian, like prime, Ashkenazi, like all the way through. But you see me, I get dark. I can blend in.
Hell yeah, man. Not 100%, 100%. You can.
The one thing I will say that on the grocery store stuff, because I do think that for like you've made the comment like from the start of this, like for people that have ever thought about moving abroad or whatever, as someone who was in 70, the way I think about like my 2025 is I kind of did the thing that 23-year-old, like I told you, like I did like what 23-year-old me needed to do. Like I did the nomad thing. Now I think I was 33, now 34. Being a nomad at that age or calling it that felt wrong. So I called myself opportunistically mobile, which is just like a
I
ridiculous
love it.
thing to say, but I enjoyed it. But I was in, I put my head in 70 places last year, right? And like the things that I came to realize was okay, in the first 24 to 36 hours in a place, like I need to know where I'm getting coffee, where I'm getting my chicken, where I'm getting my eggs, and like what is my route to bus station, train station, or transportation out of here. And like I used to need a hell of a lot more than that. Like, but
Your
once I got
AG1,
those,
this guy, when this guy moved in, he was like, I can't get my AG1. The fuck?
I got what I think I moved down with five bags. No, we're off all pro and prebiotics now,
Wait,
but
let,
yeah,
let's
but
get
yeah,
like so
yeah.
AG1 guys. This is the well, Jesse, you explain.
So I mean, yeah, AG1 it's a daily green supplement, right? Like it is unsponsored. We can get them sponsored maybe that'd be great. Uh, no, it's a greens, but like it's been around for 15, 16 years now. It's one of those American brands that is actually pretty good on like the nutrition facts. It's got essentially if you the idea is if you just only have one supplement a day, you get all your greens, all your major vitamins, all the probiotics you need, and all the metals you need. There's lots of confrontation, and Lorenz has plenty of opinions on it, on the science. The company did a fantastic job when podcast world and social media world really began to take off in wellness, like actual health wellness, which really now we're talking about 10 years ago, but especially in the last five or
Yeah,
six, they were one of the first ones to be like the marketing
yeah.
play. And so they got a real foot strong in the market with people like the big sort of thinking male podcasters. So, the
Andrew,
Tim
our
Ferrisses of the
boy,
world,
bro. I
Huberman,
saw.
Chris Wills, yeah, all
I
that.
had to think of you because I saw Uderman. Like, so as you guys all know, Uderman got caught up in this whole scandal of having like four simultaneous exclusive relationships. Only the women did know that it was not exclusive. Like, they were,
Of
he was
course.
being polygamous. He was being the absolute fucking ultra Chad bro. Just,
Mm,
those lines always got from him. And so basically, he got caught lying to people and then, like, also transmitting sexual diseases. Nothing too crazy, but still, like that, like that's. I mean, that is. Don't get me wrong. I was talking about nothing too crazy. Like he didn't give people AIDS, instead of saying. I'm not saying it's not crazy what he did. Before I get roasted in the comments, ladies, I see you. Um, but like and I thought that was really shitty of him to do and crazy. But I saw him in a video because he's made a little comeback. He's doing a little revival tour. He did the smart thing, by the way. Like the news cycle these days is so short. Just lay low.
I
Don't
know.
apologize. Don't explain. Like,
Did he not? I feel like he must have done some.
bro, I don't.
I have no idea.
But it's you have no idea. You're pretty online. I'm pretty online.
Yeah, but I can't. But I can't. Nah, I can't listen to him though. Like,
Yeah,
like I enjoy getting his summaries of things. Like,
yeah,
I'll get the newsletter and I'll scan summaries. I can't listen to him interview somebody. Just like I can't listen to Lex interview somebody. They're such
bro.
bad
Lex
interviewers. I have
sucks.
no
Yeah.
idea. I have no idea how they have. I mean, they're brilliant guys. Like, I will not argue and contend the way they think, but they are just they're just not charismatic interviewers
I
like at
I
all.
will say
But
I don't
whatever,
think
yeah.
it's fair to put like I don't think Andrew is at the level of Lex in terms of shittiness. I think Lex is a whole different level of being bad. Like Yoderman, Lex Friedman, bro. Lex Friedman is like listening to a printer. Like it's ridiculous. It's like how did this motherfucker get on? Like Yoderman, I agree, but at least like he's. But I want to say I saw a video of
Yeah, he's
him.
got a he's got a
Yeah,
personality. Yeah,
he popped back up. He did a podcast on the Modern Wisdom podcast with our boy,
yeah.
what's his name,
Chris Wells,
Chris Williamson.
Chris Williamson. Yeah,
And then the one that I actually clicked on, he went to train back in Gold's Gym Dennis with Dorian Yates. Dorian Yates, the six-time Olympia winner, bodybuilder, legend. And bro, he got even more jacked, like Andrew Younger than now. Like,
Oh, Huberman's
no, but
huge.
listen,
He's
but he
huge.
no, he used to be already like he was a big like he was like a yeah, he was I would say he was jacked. Bro, now he's like he's entering he's entering amateur like in your authorities bodybuilder terrain. Like he's like he took an and this is where
He's
my
got the resources now to do it
but
right.
but listen, this is where my Belgian I'm gonna give you. I like that me and Jesse we send a lot of audios to each other, and every now and then we go pretty hard on each other sometimes, and then when I push back on something Jesse said, I'm like, okay, Jesse, here comes cynical Belgian. Like I always say,
Yep.
here comes my dad. And I say I'm channeling my dad. It's actually, but it's also my opinion. But I'm like, that's my theory. Like, and so I'll give you this, bro. If your whole thing is like you're talking about health, longevity, what's good for me, what's good for you, like you're giving me advice, that's his whole spiel. That's his whole angle. And you look like that, bro. Fuck your advice. You are not even a little bit credible because you're a macho motherfucker obsessed with being big. That's not healthy.
Oh, interesting.
There's
Interesting.
no fucking way. Like no man needs that much muscle. That's coming from someone who loves muscle.
I was
I
gonna
want to
say
no no
I'm actually surprised on this
no
take
because I bro I could do a lot.
because you don't think it's reasonable for most people
No no
to ascribe or to look like that.
wait. So first one, I don't consider myself an example of health. I just had a Diet Coke. Like, not that that's that bad, but like bro, I smoke weed. I had cancer twice. I still put tobacco in my weed. I'm a goddamn idiot. Like if like objectively, bro,
Objective, yeah, yeah. No, I'm not
I'm
disagreeing.
getting a massive tattoo on my entire left leg. Like in terms of like I've had numerous people in my family with skin cancer. What am I doing? Like so I am on the record that for me, yeah, I probably care more about looking good naked than I care about, being healthy. But I do it in a way
The
that right,
insides.
like I
Yeah.
mean that I'm reasonably healthy. I think like I have high protein, low carb. I do a shit ton of cardio. Like I'm okay. Like like I'm fine. My point is, so like I'm not condemning that. I'm just saying like if I'm someone who's trying to like go all in on health and like just
Mm,
health, longevity, throw, you are the wrong messenger, man. You macho
sure.
motherfucker, like get the fuck out of here with your big ass arms. You're just you're all about looking buff and looking big and looking like that's not like everybody knows that that's not the ideal muscle mass one needs like to be healthy. Like you don't need to be that big. Like it serves you for it's nothing. It just it's extra strain on the heart, on the lungs, the liver, blood pressure, like everything, every fucking thing. Like obviously muscle is good, but like he's way past that point of like being healthily like muscular.
So who would you say is a good person that is actually like putting doing it the right way or the reasonable way or the healthy way? Because this is like
Hmm.
you and I have talked about this in a different capacity, but one of the things that I find really frustrating about I don't want to call it sort of like influencers, but people of influence, right? Is across the board, their perspective, their experience is the most extreme or on the level of the most extreme. That's how they got there in the first place, right? So like, like in my world and the things that I'm working on in like wanting to be somebody that shares a story and helps people like take the risk to leave the traditional path. The people who are talking about, whether it's from building their own thing or spirituality or whatever or at like the furthest levels of extreme in those corners, and for the most part they are so far down that road. Like Huberman's been lifting, probably super heavy for 25 years, if not 30 years, if not longer than that, right? um there's like nobody in there's very few people that you see that are like in the middle. And so I'm curious, like on the health side here, like who would you put as like just a down the fairway but powerful voice, like impactful voice, who's just like being a all around healthy person? Because I think of people who are just generally like all around healthy, their character or their persona is not around health. That's just something they do on the side. I'm just curious if anyone comes to mind when you think about this.
Jesse Link.
Ha, yeah,
No, all jokes aside, David Goggins, another great example of like someone not to fucking listen to. Like,
Absurdity. Yeah,
yeah,
absurdity.
man. Honestly, that's a very good question. And you know what? I have some people in mind, but there are people that I know in real
Hmm.
life. They're like nobodies because the internet and YouTube does not reward normality. The internet and media
No.
only rewards absurdity, monsters, freaks, extremists. Fucking Uderman telling you you gotta get sun in the you gotta wait 90 minutes to get caffeine in. Gotta go put your balls in the
Well,
sun.
that should that no, the caffeine thing's real, buddy.
No, it's real, but it's not that deep, is what I'm saying.
But
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah, I know
like,
what you mean. Yeah.
bro, I've met dudes like that who are like they they how do I they're like they will postpone a workout and derail their whole day because they're only 64 minutes into their day. And I'm like, bro,
No, that's not what living's for.
right, we're trying to get it. It's early AM. Let's fucking get it in. Pop a caffeine pill. Let's fucking go. No, no, 90 minutes. Shut the fuck up, little bitch. Let's get it in. Like, what are you doing? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you
I
gotta.
do.
By the way, pro tip for all my smokers: if you smoke late at night and you go straight to bed, right? And you guys know what I'm talking about. You wake up, you're still like a little bit high, and then on the sober stomach, no food, a little caffeine pill. You got this fucking amazing mix of like the weed and the caffeine. It's like you still have like the psychedelic effect of the weed a little bit, but then with the caffeine and you had to sleep, bro, it's amazing. The high hits. It's the greatest of highs. Then some music. Oof, best start to the day. But can't eat, can't food fucks everything up. And then granted, after that your whole day is a fog. The whole day is a wash.
I was gonna say, and then what about after
No,
that?
no, no. The whole
What
day is a
about after that?
wash. But
Yeah,
for those 90 minutes, you were goddamn living. You're on top of this
that's
shit.
great.
Bro, I swear to God, man. Like I had a running joke with one of my best friends back home. He's also like an early riser. He's up at 5 a.m. every day. And we go to the gym. We hit the gym mad early. And then we go to the parking lot when we're done. And we look at each other and we go, well, that was the highlight of the day, buddy. Best start of the day.
That was
That was it. Like now all we have is like fatigue, caffeine spiking, trying to crawl back up and being exhausted and tired for the rest of the day until we can do it all over again tomorrow. Hey,
hey man, at least you got the peak. You got the peak.
that's what I'm saying, man. Most people, they just go through the day without a peak, not even a little peak, nothing. Like, I'll take the peak. I'll take the peak. Like, that's a good deal, at least for a minute. A lot of my best content came from those peaks. That's when guys, you see me the other day, Jesse, I put up this video, a short, and I was all angry and charged up. And this woman who had recently joined, shout out to you if you're watching this. She's like, oh gosh, you scared me. Like, what happened? I thought you were this positive, kind guy. Like, why are you talking like this? It doesn't give me a good feeling. And I'm like, well, that's what happens when Lorenz is at it early, caffeine on an empty stomach, and not like the same thing. Like I'm going off on a tangent here, but I don't understand people who just randomly have coffee in the morning and don't leverage that into something productive. Like I'll never understand someone, and I know this is like the most unpopular opinion of all time. You just having a coffee and sitting on the couch is weird as fuck to me. Like I don't get that.
Mm,
Like, because nothing hits like that first caffeine hit. You're chasing the dragon. You can never get that again. Like no matter how many coffees you get after that, right? So
no.
I'm always trying to like when I get my first dose of caffeine, I'm either doing a YouTube video, hitting the gym, having a very important meeting or a job interview, like coaching a client, but it has to serve me because that energy.
But you know why that take is like is a tough take for most people, right? because like most people aren't using it as something to actually
Hmm.
serve them anymore, right? It is it's no different for most people. Like I'm now, you know, 4 months, going on 4 months caffeine free after being someone who was like a four cups of coffee, or a red eye in the morning and two double espressos in the afternoon type of guy. Like I've stopped it for a bunch of reasons. Like primarily, like, yeah, like you can call bullshit all you want, but like me on caffeine with cortisol spikes and my anxiety versus me not on caffeine and no cortisol spikes, like what it's done for my inflammation in my stomach, what it's done for my bowels, what it's done for so many other things, just to have like decaf coffee. I still have coffee. And so the point is, when one, I've totally changed that perspective for myself. I used to be like, anyone who's spending money on decaf coffee is fucking stupid. Like, why would you? The whole point of it is that, and it's like, actually, no. I love the ritual of my coffee, right? Like I love. I've got fresh beans. I grind them every morning. I put them in my little pour over. I wait. I take my time. I watch it. I go take my journal, and like I write with a fresh cup of coffee. And so like I hear you, but for most people, like there's a part of it that's truly coffee is an addiction. There's the person who says, like, I can't start my day without coffee. But for a lot of people, sit on the couch with a hot cup of coffee is like the only moment of stillness they're going to have all day. And so, like, they're not wasting the caffeine, they're just using it as a different tool.
Mm.
So they're still using it. The caffeine's still going to work. But actually, like, if they're addicted to coffee, you're never actually getting a caffeine hit anyway. I'd like when I was with you in Belgium, right? I had what, half a total war before, and like
Pre-workout.
I hadn't. I had a pre-workout. I'd been off caffeine for 2 months at that point, and I had half a scoop, and I was
Haha.
jacked. But I was absolutely amped up, and I think because it was being used and harnessed for like for fitness and working out, like I didn't get the same type of anxiety. But when I was in Morocco, and I thought that the mint tea was going to be an herbal tea, and it was a black tea base, so I had 3 pots of this mint tea and I couldn't fall asleep for 2 nights, like
Ah,
boom, the anxiety came back for sure. And so point being, like, I think I agree. Most people aren't actually like that feeling of like amp that you're getting. I don't think most coffee drinkers actually even feel that
you're
anymore.
right.
And so what they're actually getting of it is this tool that helps them start their day mentally, not physically. So I feel you, but I'm just gonna throw that other perspective out there.
Top three reasons, Jesse, why you quit. You've mentioned bowels. You've mentioned spikes. But give me your top three reasons.
Yeah, so one is like cortisol spikes with, so I've got some inflammation stuff, if issues, and so like cortisol is a major driver of both anxiety but also inflammation, like storage, being, where does inflammation come from, or sort of fat deposits come from? It comes from sort of protective survival skills. Cortisol is like, when cortisol spikes, there is sort of the anxiety spikes or increases, you become sort of defensive, and like the human survival guide is, let me hold on to fat cells, let me hold on to more cortisol, let me hold on to this, and so you start craving that again. So there's that one, like, part of it is from a fitness side of like, man, I've got this fucking belt on my stomach, and like I want to get rid of it. you know Part of it is I'm tired of the anxiety, and I've done a bunch of other things, as like my meditation practice, my spiritual practices, like all those things for quelling my mind. Coffee is one of those other things. And um, what's the biggest other part of it is just like proving to myself that I don't need a dependency on things, right? Like,
Hmm.
uh, there is there's something I didn't have decaf for 2 months, and then I realized, okay, I miss the ritual. Like, I miss the ritual. Let me go buy a bag of decaf coffee and like see how it feels. But part of it was the mental of like, because I've learned with myself too in a lot of ways, like I'm a slow on fast off guy.
Hmm.
Like I need to build practices or have it slow, but like I'm cold turkey everything else. Like I cold turkeyed my SSRIs both times I got sober. I cold turkey drinking. Like, it's just one of those things. So caffeine's the same way. Um, I fortunately like didn't have any withdrawals, but some people have tons of headaches. But yeah, just to summarize, like, first thing is like gut health, mental health, and then on like the everyday like awareness stuff. Um, just like being mindful that like I'm good as I am. I don't need anything else. So it's a little bit. I guess that's two parts mind, one part body. Um,
So people listening to this, wanting to get into an attempt of giving up caffeine,
Mm.
give him the game plan. Give him the first, like, don't go too deep, but like, what are the first steps? Like, how do you
Well, I
potentially
think
like
yeah.
substitute it? Like, how do you approach that?
So I think the first step for me would be have a good reason to give it up,
I like that.
right? Like so for me, it was I was preparing for like a plant medicine ceremony.
Mm,
And so like in particular, like getting rid of all substances, no drinking, like, you got I mean this one's it was intense, right? No salt, no fats, no sex, like obviously no caffeine. So that was a good reason. And I've had moments of experimenting with like not having caffeine in the past, but the reason it never stuck really was because it was just kind of my own accord, like out of curiosity opposed to like a true reason. So this was like a very real reason for, multiple weeks in advance where I needed to be fully clean of it. So I think I'd find a reason. Like, um, that'd be step one. I think step two is in that 1A, 1B, like try to figure out what role coffee plays in your life. Like for me, I came to realize that coffee became also like this procrastination, right? Like, oh, I'm not, it's the afternoon. I'm now having like my fall off from the first cup of coffee I had in the day. Instead of me going for a walk or working out or doing some push-ups or whatever to try to get the blood flowing again, or even a cold shower or just like take a break, it's no, like let's keep pushing through. Like I'm gonna go make another cup of coffee. And so it became this, yeah, procrastination tool from like
mm,
one, taking a break, but also um not just trying to get focused and do the work.
yeah,
you know
I feel you.
like I would use it, oh, I haven't had this other cup of coffee,
Mm,
so I think I would ask yourself, like, what is the tool, what are you using it for? And when it became clear to me that I certainly wasn't feeling the caffeine, I was certainly feeling the crash, I was certainly feeling the residual side effects of the anxiety, so it wasn't serving me. If it serves you, or like if you're a person that is working super, super early, and you have to get up and you're doing maybe hard labor or something where like you need to be focused and attention bright and early, like, and you need that boost. I'd say like step one is to make a bit of a move. Like, you can try something like a yerba mate or a green tea or even a black tea, right? An oolong tea or a black tea is, half the caffeine
mm,
of coffee. If a regular cup of coffee is maybe 100 milligrams, like, yerba mate could be 30 to 40, depending on how much you drink. Black tea could be 60, 75, and you can wean yourself off, especially if you're also worried about having like headaches and side effects with your stomach or things or jitters or things like that. I fortunately have never really had any of those, but that's just super dependent. So um I think about alternatives to wean off. If you're a cold turkey person, like, and I don't know how well that expression translates. Cold turkey just means stop all at once. I think that's probably an American expression. Do you know? Do
oh,
you know that one, buddy?
bro, what do you
Yeah.
mean? Come
Yeah.
on, man,
I don't fucking know.
shut
I don't want to
up.
assume. I mean,
No,
I mean,
I'm
I mean, I should
the other
assume with
day.
you.
Listen, hey, for the
You know more
audience,
shit than me about my own country.
this dude is Native American. I had to teach him some sayings the other day. What was the one I taught you again? I forgot already. You were like, what's that? What's the one?
Oh, yeah.
I taught you like two in
I
three
can.
days too.
You taught me 2 in 3 days.
I swear to God,
I've
wait.
never heard them
Ah,
before. I've never heard it
it's
before.
at the tip of my tongue. Oh, we're not gonna waste
Yeah,
time,
and
but
think about it. Okay, so I'll say one is like, yeah. So one, figure out a reason to actually do it, and figure out like why you're dependent or why you want to get rid of it. Two or three, ask yourself what would be the best mode, full abstention from it or weaning off, and then I would really create some type of very basic tracking on like whether it's a check-in before you go to bed or a check-in every Friday with yourself of like, how did I feel this week? I mean, for me, it's pretty obvious and immediate the differing levels of my anxiety.
mm,
Um, and then, okay, cool. Some people do use caffeine as diuretic or use coffee as diuretic. Decaf is not as potent as a diuretic, but it still works. And then also just like get some digestive enzymes, eat some kimchi. Like there are plenty of other things that you can add to your diet that like coffee is not the only way that you can take a shit. You know,
yeah,
like it's just
yeah.
it's just a fact. Like get more fiber in your diet other ways. Um,
Beer helps too.
so I'd say
When I drink heavy beer, anytime I'm
Yeah, of
indulgent,
course.
bro.
Yeah, yeah, but that's diarrhea. That's not good. That's not a good shit. That's not the good stuff, man.
Yeah. Speaking of like alternatives, have you experimented? I know a lot of people that get off of caffeine, they hop on maca, the earth maca,
Hmm.
just MACCA. I've tried that one because I was trying to raise my testosterone, obviously.
Hmm.
I always felt like maca is like doesn't do shit. Have you ever tried that?
I've researched it. It's one of those things where like I've bought the powder, I've played around with it,
Yeah.
you know, I've never done it enough with any consistency to notice a difference.
Yeah.
Um, but that being said, like I've never done it without having pure coffee caffeine in my system. So like it's something to consider, but right now like I'm not even interested. Like I'm actually curious is when I get down to Argentina in the spring and like I love mate.
Mm.
And like it's a bit sacrilege to go, if my understanding, to go and ask for, decaf mate. Yeah, there you go. There you go. So like we'll see how that goes. I'll probably just end up, not being try my best not to be a pussy and just get some decaf mate, right? Because like the like part of what's most enjoyable about it is like you have to slow down to drink it, right? Like it's a deliberate action, which is why I went back to having my coffee because it's a deliberate action of I grind my beans, I do my pour over, I take my time. So yeah, like no, I haven't. I guess to answer your question, no, I
Yeah.
haven't really spent a lot of time with maca. I do think there are tons of other stimulant alternatives. Um, I'm always just weary on stimulants in general,
Mm.
right? Like, especially for people that are like when we're younger, there's a whole different conversation about stimulants when it relates to ADD or ADHD. Um, and then there's a whole other conversation on whether that's good or bad. But I kind of think like a lot of our dependency on caffeine is this idea that we're tired and we're exhausted.
Mm-hmm.
And I actually don't think most of us are that tired or that
Yeah.
exhausted. I think we're just doing things that aren't in line with our body, like in our
We're
mind.
doing things
And
that are
so,
not serving us, that are not giving us energy back, that
correct,
are not like
correct, correct.
that don't make our clock tick, and like they don't give us passion.
Totally. It's depleting.
Yeah.
Like if you're constantly fighting an friction with yourself, like it doesn't matter how much caffeine you have,
Yep.
you're just gonna continue to be out of line with a little bit more jitters. Or like, sure, like again, I get it. It serves a purpose for fitness, for workouts, for some people, like it really leans into focus. I'm not gonna shit on it at all. I loved I love coffee. I appreciate caffeine as a natural recurring thing. It's on this earth for a reason, right? And so like it serves some purpose if it's on this earth for a reason. You know, the question becomes like how does it serve you? And like if it's serving you to do things that don't serve you well,
Yeah.
then well that's you've got the equation wrong.
Two things on that. One,
Yeah, man.
he's got sugar in his tank. That was one of them. So for those in the
Yes.
comments, comment below if you know what that means when one has sugar in his tank. And Jesse never heard about that one. I was like, that's the thing,
Have never heard it.
right? And then
Never heard it.
getting
Yep.
back to the caffeine stuff and the stimulant part. I found that so interesting. So like, so Jesse's been off the caffeine for 6 months, guys. He came to visit me in Belgium
But
in the
whatever.
beginning of December, um, and so he was like fully off. And there's this pre-workout that I swear by. It's called Total War. And me and Jesse, like, I told him when he came, I'm like, we're just gonna do the same thing I always do. Is like, I'm not gonna show you Belgium. I'm gonna show you my village. That's it, and my routine. So that includes daily gym sessions in the morning. And we got like 2 sessions in. It was really good, really fun. I was like, Jesse, can I ask you a question? Like, are you open to just, I know you're off of the caffeine, but just as a one-time thing to try this pre-workout with me, right? Just like, I think it'll be fun. It'll be an experience. And I really appreciate Jesse always being like open to things and not being a prisoner and not being so rigid and not being a prisoner to his like what he's doing. Because I am like that. If I'm on a diet and someone's like, hey, we're just having burger night, like, can you do one burger? I'm like, no, I can't. Fuck off. Like, I'm all about the streak. And if the streak gets messed up, then it was all for nothing. Like, but that's neither here nor there. My point, so I was happy he was able to, be flexible and be like, yeah, I want to try this. Because I love to see how pre-workout, especially that one, impacts people because it's called Total War. The road, they could not have picked a better name. That shit does something to your mind. Like I've tried at least 40 different pre-workouts in the past 20 years. I love pre-workouts. I love trying different ones. Like it's a whole thing. It's like people like to try wine. I like to try pre-workouts, right? And I landed on that one being the best one, also the best bang for your buck. I used to buy this super expensive pre-workout from North Place, North Dates. You know that guy, Derek, who and he had the super Gorilla Mind, super expensive stuff out. I tried that. It was kind of anyway. I gave him the pre-workout. Didn't even give you a full scoop. It wasn't a full
Nope.
scoop. And needless to say, I mean, he was on. He fucking like he was killing all workouts, but that one he went a little bit above and beyond. Like
No, no,
it it bro,
I tip my hat. It felt different for sure. It felt
it
different.
makes you want to bite the dumbbells, is what I always say. Like the best way to describe the feeling, it makes you want to bite the barbell. Like it makes you want to attack the weights. It's like you're angry at the weights. Like you're not just going through the motions like 1, 2, 5 more, let's go. Like you run to the rack. The hard part is resting in between. You don't want to rest. You're doing supersets, right?
No.
And I
Hmm.
saw that with him. But not only that, so I hope I can share this, Jesse, and stop me if you don't feel comfortable, but I'm pretty sure you are. Like Jesse is the opposite of me in terms of like me. I love the flex. I love to take off my shirt. Like
Hmm.
I'm very happy with how I
You
look,
know,
and um, I have I have no complexes when it comes to that, or like no insecurities or issues like showcasing the physique, as I like to say it, right? Whereas Jesse has a really good physique. He has an amazing fucking chest, really good arms, and but he's always like I've never seen this dude in a tank top even. Like I literally can't remember you wearing a tank top ever once that I used to live with you, right? Like even like needless to say, he also wasn't topless. Like and so that wasn't a thing of his at all. Um, so we do the pre-workout, we kill the gym, and all of a sudden, who is now inclined? Because the idea came from you that day. Because I was already like I had been playing about it before. Like we should pose. Like,
no, no, no. To be clear, you had been putting the idea for now 4 days in a row. But I
but
agree.
that day,
I willingly participated. Yes.
and
Yeah.
just like I swear to God, Total War gives you something. It does something with your mind. It gives you a certain delusionality. Is that a word, Jesse? Delusionality?
No, I don't think so.
Delusion?
We'll let's use it. Let's just use it.
It just raises your self-confidence to a level where, and I saw it with you. You were like, yeah, fuck, like, pop the top, take off the shirt, and we were just, like flexing, taking some pictures for Jesse's girlfriend, by the way. I'm gonna add for the pot. Hey, Jesse, if they're still listening at this point, I always like to say this. You gotta put in some Easter eggs, some gifts at the end. Like,
Some gifts. Yep.
if you're still listening to this shit
An
63
hour and
minutes
1 minute
in,
in. Yeah.
you deserve to
Yep.
know that Jesse's girl demanded some topless pics. Like
She was not
we
unhappy. She
we
was
would
not
never
unhappy
I would
about it.
never bring this up in the beginning.
Remember, right? We went on day
Yeah,
5. I didn't send any, and she was upset.
she was
She was
upset,
upset.
man. She was upset.
She was upset.
Mine is the opposite.
And you can't keep a Latina girl upset.
Well, yeah, well, my Latina girl hates it when I take the shirt off. She hates it. There's a word for that, so I'll teach you guys a little slang word in Mexican. It's called dichi. So it's Dichi. I think it's like that. I, not E. Dichi. And dichi just means like people that have the tendency to always want to be half naked. And it's like it's
Mm,
like you don't want to be called dichi. It's like you're being clowned. You're like, it's like kind of like in poor taste. So she's always like, you're the most dichi motherfucker ever. Like, she hates it. Like, I'm going again on a tangent. The Mexican people, man, they're so conservative. I'll literally get the Uber Eats in my drawers, in my boxers. Like I will go get it. I'll hop out the shower, put on a towel. Bro, I did that one time with a girl. She freaked the fuck out. Like, what are you doing? You're like, you're naked on the street. I'm like, naked on the street. I am standing in
I'm
my
in my
front
house.
door with a towel around me. And oh, by the way, I don't give a fuck. Like, who
Yep.
cares? Like, let him see the muscle. Let him see the art. Let him see it. Hey, it's art week.
It's there. It's
It's
there.
art week this week in Mexico City. In my street, it's art week every day, right? If you get to see it, if you get to see me going to the gym or coming back.
Zona's early this year. It's in January.
I
It
mean,
starts next
the
week.
goddamn gringos, man, they come earlier and earlier. They've already
Earlier and earlier.
invaded. They've already invaded. I'm
What?
running
The
into
Illuminati, right?
I'm running into as many as I can on the street and grilling them, mean mugging them. I'm fighting for my people, man. Mexican gang.
Yeah, my Mexican people. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. It's confusing for them. It's very confusing. But anyway, I just like the effects it had on Jesse, and like you're always a big talker. You're always like you like I love that about you. You connect so easily with everybody and anybody. But that day I saw you just at a different level. Like it was beautiful, man. It was wonderful. Um, so give me I want to show this to the people, Jesse. Hold on.
Yep. Yeah. I'll just sit here and smile.
Because I know like it gets a bad rep, but like so this is the one I'm talking about. It's perfectly legal. Guys, it's not healthy. It's not healthy, okay? It's not like this is not good for you.
How, all right, how much caffeine is in it? One scoop. How
350,
many milligrams?
350. Oh no, sorry. No, 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 no,
350.
no, no. I'm lying. I'm lying. 250, 250. But I double scoop it, so I got
Yeah, I was
500.
gonna say, but you double scoop it. Now everybody knows how and why he is the way he is. It's 500 milligrams of caffeine for breakfast, empty stomach.
Caffeine in the morning to get me up, and then later at night, well, who knows? But the point is, sometimes people like if you're a person listening to this, watching this, and you're kind of stuck and you're in a rut and you don't really know like how to get out of it, like this might help. And it's not healthy and it shouldn't be a long-term crutch. But like to kind of put some pepper in your ass, as we say in Belgium, to get that spark going, to like get yourself fired up, this can help. This can help. I have a friend of mine who you've met. You've met him, and we go on hikes together, right? And he's like a
Hmm.
very calm person and very like, and also in going out, like he can be very introverted and kind of shy. And at some point, I'm like, bro, like this is not really good advice, but it kind of is. Like you might want to like try to take some pre-workout before you go out. And now he'll take a scoop before going out, and I'll see him. He'll be talking people's ears off. It's kind of like a legal alternative to cocaine, people. And like it sounds.
I was about to say that it's kind of like you just told him to take when people loosen themselves up before a date, right? You have if you have a shot or two before you go, it's the same shit. It's the same shit.
Like
Yeah.
this is not like on this podcast, like at least me, Jesse's better than me. I'm not gonna always tell you like I'll tell you it's not good, but like sometimes things that are not good can help. Like the same way I always say
I
this.
won't disagree with that.
If you ask me like an avid weed enthusiast who kind of is anti-alcohol, if you honestly ask me, Lorenz, what is better? Me having 7 beers a week, 7 beers a week, so 1 beer a day, or me smoking 5 joints a week. I love weed. I hate alcohol. Every goddamn time I'm gonna tell you 7 beers a week is better.
7 beers.
And it's not even close. It's not even close. Like I'm sorry, like, but we've overcorrected. We've gone from acting like weed is heroin, which is bullshit, to now acting like weed is a goddamn multivitamin. No, it's an insidious drug.
Yep.
And
Yep.
having one drink a day is far superior. So I'm big on that. I'm big on like finding like the balance between health and like practicality and a good life and obtaining what you want. So there you have it.
All right.
That's my
I
pitch.
appreciate that. I appreciate that. I will. So as someone who was both a alcoholic and a daily smoker, I now have a little bit of drinks in my life, very, very particular. I will only smoke on the occasion that I am with this man right here. That's it. Nobody else. Nobody
An
else.
honor, such an
And
honor.
such a yeah, yeah. It's because the conversation's slow. But I'll agree with you on that take. The one thing I would say, which actually is not in disagreement, is like I would agree with someone who wants to like get up and go a little bit, right? This is we started this conversation. So we've done two things here. We've now done pitches for Total War and AG1 for sponsorships, and we've told people to get off caffeine and then telling them now how to get on caffeine. but but what I'd say is I would agree, like a half scoop, if you're trying to get started to the gym, right? If you're trying to do running, just get out to nature, just like pick yourself up, be super mindful how addictive certain stimulants can be. But like if you are thoughtful about it, yeah, like there's no reason. And I'm gonna do this. I want to do this for you, Lawrence. Lawrence, like if you're in this audience listening, and after this, you've now chosen to go out and buy Total War, and you drop a picture or a video in the comments of you drinking this Total War, Lorenz is gonna give you a monthly workout package for free.
All right.
He'll come to you. You can offer, tell him you want his advice. He'll give you that package free if you come into the comments showing that you went and bought some Total
Fuck
War,
it.
get your
I
ass
love
in
this. I
gear.
love it, man. I love it.
Yeah,
Hell yeah.
yeah,
That's shit. That's good shit.
yeah. You didn't ask my permission, but I just offered it.
Bro, that's why you're right here, man. Bro, oh shit, we're 71 minutes in, man. This one,
Yeah, yeah. I got to roll.
I,
I got to roll in a minute.
bro, I gotta roll too. This was fucking awesome, guys. Comment below. Don't forget, so today again, we just started going. We didn't have an agenda. Any question you have, any question in particular to Jesse or to me or a topic that you want us to go back and forth on, drop a comment and we'll get to it. We're going to keep these going regardless of views, regardless of feedback. Like me and him just love to talk, so we might as well record it and share it with you guys. So we've had a few really nice comments on the last video saying we need more of these. I love these for real, yada yada yada. So thank you guys. We're just getting started. We're still thinking of the name. Well, it doesn't matter. We'll figure it out.
Doesn't
But
matter.
just want to
Doesn't matter.
say to the 200 people that watched the last one, like, I know we're living in YouTube land and anything less than a million is nothing. Bro, you put 2 million motherfuckers in the field? That's an army. That is an army. Also, I want to thank the people who watched because the average view duration was 6 minutes, which is high as hell in YouTube land. Because you have to think, there's 50 people that click on it, watch a minute, and turn it off. So for every one of those, you need 12 minutes. So if you're spending just 12 minutes of your day on us, listening to us, that's amazing. So I just want to say thank you guys so much. Any last words, Jesse?
No, no. I'll keep them to myself for the one time only.
Stay safe in the storm.
Nah.
Stay
Yeah.
safe in the storm out there. All right,
Thanks, brother. Thanks, brother.
and we'll be back real soon, guys. Peace out.
Cheers.